In this video, I'm going to show you the funnel and how it's typically used in science. So you can see the funnel has a conical shape here, and it's got a little stem for the liquid to pass through. And you can also see that it was cut at an angle here, and that's special for allowing the liquid to make contact with the inside of a beaker or a test tube. Kind of helps the liquid come out. So you'd use a funnel for putting liquid into something that has a thin opening, like you'd put this inside a test tube, or maybe a graduated cylinder, or maybe a burette. All right, so that's definitely one use, is liquid transfer. The other common use for a filter, or common use for a funnel rather, is to make a filter. You're going to use it to separate solids and liquids, and you'll need to get a piece of filter paper in order to do that. Your instructor will probably give you a paper circle like this one that's been specially sized to fit inside of your funnel. So when you get this piece of paper, you're going to fold it in half to make a semicircle, and then you'll fold it in half again, and you'll have now a quarter of the circle, right? So how do you make a cone out of this? Well, you take one of these foldings and you open it up like so. All right, it'll be a little uneven. You'll have a little more paper on one side, a little less paper on the other side, but that's the basic idea for making your paper funnel. That doesn't matter. You put the paper inside of the funnel, and now any liquid that passes through will go through the stem into your container, and any solids will get trapped by the paper. Now you can see this paper is a little bit stubborn. It's sitting nicely inside the funnel, and if you really wanted to make this paper stay inside the funnel, you can add a little distilled water and wet the filter paper a little bit, not too much, because you don't want to have liquid dripping through, and that's going to possibly alter the volume of the filtrate, which is the liquid that's going to come down here. So you just want to wet this a little bit so that the paper sticks to the funnel and stays inside the funnel. And like I said, always have something below to collect the liquid. In this case, I have a beaker, but it's not uncommon to have an Erlenmeyer flask. All right, so either of those would be appropriate choices to collect the filtrate. And then one other tip is to make sure that the stem is touching the glass. Now, the reason for doing this is so that you don't get any kind of splattering occurring. So let's say that I have a liquid, and I'm going to pour this liquid into my funnel. And just to show you what I mean by this, all right, so I pour some liquid through, and you can see that the liquid is actually moving down the side of the beaker. All right, if I move it away, you can see that it starts to drip into the beaker freely like so, but this may cause splashing. So you really want the edge of the beaker to touch the stem of the funnel and allow a nice stream to flow down the side. This prevents splashing, and let's say that you had maybe an acid or a very strong basic solution here. This will reduce the chances of splattering so that it doesn't get on some other person. Okay, so those are the uses for the funnel.